So Bloomberg leaked some changes Twitch is considering making to its partnership program. The way you monetize on Twitch is if you get enough viewers, there's some metrics you can hit that you get something called the affiliate program, which enables your sub button. If you're unaware with Twitch, subbing on Twitch is a little different than on YouTube. It's more like the membership platform on YouTube where you pay money.
Yeah.
And then you get like ad frees on that channel. You get some emotes and stuff like that. So you unlock your sub button at affiliate and you do a 50-50 revenue split with them. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you make money. At a certain point, if you can get far enough, you can get personally sponsored or partnered, with Twitch. That gets a little different. There's negotiations in there. There's rumors of people, maybe like Shroud, Ninja, Tim the Tatman, those high streamers getting up to like 70-30 splits, like really, really good.
Oh, you can change your revenue split if you get big enough because you're important enough to them.
Mm-hmm. You negotiate it in the contract.
All right.
So these changes, I'll just go over them one by one here and we can talk about each of them. Mm-hmm. These are considered changes, not finalized, but incentives for more ads. So like more ad breaks during the live stream, play more ads. New revenue split, 70% down to 50%. That's a massive number.
So it was 70% by default?
I don't think by default, but I think there are plenty of people who were up at the 70%
and they're
range
getting bumped
in the
back,
partnership.
Back down to 50?
Back to 50, which is the default affiliate
for
range.
Everyone?
Anybody who can hit a certain amount of viewers can get to there.
Okay.
A new tier system and no more exclusivity. So, I mean, I saw this around. In the tech world, we look at gaming and everything a lot. Every single live streamer I followed tweeted about this because for live streamers on Twitch, some of these are terrifying, I would say. Let's just start with revenue split 70-50 because like 20% in literally anything is a giant jump.
So for the people who were at the 70% tier, it's just a pay cut. Basically.
It's a big pay cut. When I do believe though, if you had your contract already, like they're probably gonna have to go through that contract. So I don't know when these changes might happen, if they do happen. But a 20% pay decrease is gigantic.
That sounds like a company that's struggling to make money. And when you saw like the other stuff, like incentives for more ads, which we might talk about more, like YouTube's done the same thing. YouTube has allowed more mid-rolls. Like they used to have a 10-minute video before you needed to. If you wanted to enable mid-rolls in a video, the video had to be at least 10 minutes long. They moved that to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And they also automatically checked the box on new 8-minute plus uploads to just automatically add mid-rolls.
Yeah.
So YouTube's been through this where they're like, okay, we need to make more money. Here's what we're going to do. So incentivizing more ads isn't new. We've seen it before. It works. I'm not shocked that Twitch is going to try to do that.
Yeah.
The revenue split cut sounds like, okay, we really need to find some money somewhere. Is Twitch struggling that much?
I don't know. So I have two. I think the biggest reason when I first read this is, if you'll remember, that revenue split counts with Amazon Prime subs, which is if you have Amazon Prime, you get one free sub every month. And the creators still get the full revenue split from that. Even though the person's not paying anything, it's like they're paying $5 to the creator. So
if someone has Amazon Prime, they are given one free sub per month.
Every month.
When they sub to you, the creator will still get the split of what you were supposed to get paid if they paid full price, and then Twitch gets zero.
I guess ultimately Twitch gets zero. They get 30% of their money that they gave out already,
right.
I guess.
Sure.
So I think that, and now if we can connect that to the incentive for more ads, that would be my guess as to why this is becoming an issue. They want to still have creators make up that 20% difference. So they're going to have assuming some sort of incentive, obviously, to run more ads because they want the creators to make more money to make up for that. But they obviously were not making money off of free subscriptions. Now there's obviously people doing regular subscriptions. There's some benefits and there's tier systems to do bigger subscriptions. But I mean, there are a lot of Amazon Prime members out there, and there are a lot of Amazon Prime subs. If you watch a popular streamer, they'll constantly be like, thanks for the Prime sub, thanks for the Prime sub. Like,
oh, does it tell you when it's a Prime sub, or is the person's one free
their
sub?
alerts, depending on what their alerts are, but you will see a lot of people specifically mention Prime subs. And I think the reason they mention it is because some people still don't know that they have Prime subs. So if they say it, somebody might ask.
That's smart.
There's a whole meme of Ninja like creating this selling point of like what a Prime sub was, because he would constantly say it during his streams all the time, and then that's why he got to a point where he had hundreds of thousands of subs. Yeah. Now the biggest issue though, and what I see a lot of people complaining about with the incentive for more ads, is like Twitch has kind of been pushing ads towards the creators recently. I think within the last year they created a rule. It used to just be ads would play pre-roll, and then once you got into it, the creators basically had their chances for ad breaks and could send them whenever. Now you have to run at least 1 minute of ads per hour of streaming.
You have to.
I believe that's just for partners, but
okay.
An hour or 1 minute of ads for an hour of streaming. Now that doesn't sound that bad, but there are a lot of streamers who hate that, like absolutely hate that. Some of them are just doing so well and they do well on subs, like they don't care about ad mid rolls or like the money from ads, so they don't really run them at all. And to them, it's like it's interrupting this part of a live broadcast. And when you're doing things live, a lot of times you're doing them that, you know, that content is lasting more than an hour. You're not just playing games where it's like 20-minute game. I could queue up, run an ad mid roll. You're not going to miss anything. So those ads coming in are potentially like popping up at the worst times, and you could be like literally missing content that's happening on the live stream. And that's just like, it's a terrible user experience. I totally get why Twitch would want to do that, because they need to make more money, but that's a bad user experience and bad partner experience.
Yeah, it's in Twitch's best interest to try to get people used to ads. And I've always been on the same side. Like, ads are not a good experience. I don't like watching ads. I don't like getting interrupted with a double unskippable pre-roll or mid-roll or something like that. So if I can avoid serving those ads, I will also avoid that, because I don't want to give people that bad experience. But yeah, it's in Twitch's best interest to make it, to normalize it, to normalize ads and make people cool with like, yeah, there's going to be a 1 minute mid-roll. It's been an hour. Like, that's just going to happen sometimes. So I kind of see both sides of it. This also kind of reminded me of, I saw this headline recently. I just pulled it back up. Tesla cancels employee bonuses tied to delivery quotas, raises salaries to compensate. So it's like, you might net the same, but they remove the structure of one version of getting paid and replace it with another. So if Twitch wants people to run ads more, they'll just go, hey, your revenue split is lower. Guess what? Run more ads.
That almost feels like the opposite of what you just said, though, because like in a sales force, like hitting quotas
True, you don't want people to hit quotas.
Yeah. This feels like they're trying to go from like, hey, you're salaried with your subs, we're cutting that.
Yeah, cutting your salary, but sell more cars.
Yeah,
usually it's the other way.
I appreciate the Tesla version of that way better than this. I have a couple tweets real quick from a few streamers who mentioned this, and actually a pretty good argument on the same side. Hassan, who is like within the last 2 years, probably one of the biggest creators on the platform. He streams like 10 hours a day. I think he, during COVID, streamed 365 days straight or something like that.
Dude, people ask me why I don't stream on Twitch. Like, it is a different skill.
It is.
It's a different breed.
Crazy what you have to do. Which is why, but again, that's why ads are so much different on there, because like you're keeping people entertained for these long amounts of times while you're on.
Yeah.
Running those ads are interrupting things, where when we do mid-rolls, like, we can be like, oh, this video has a natural break in it, and we can figure that out later and put it in, and it works.
Yeah.
So Hassan said, when I negotiated my contract, I knew this was coming and wanted to lock in 1 minute of ads per hour. This ad density is the lowest out of the top streamers. Twitch still serves pre-rolls because it wasn't 3 minutes. Love Twitch, but it seems like they're moving away from CC to fix their profits. Which then again, even just reading that, it makes it seem like this leak is probably going to happen, if he seems to know that something like that was happening before his contract negotiation. And then Pokimane, who I think everyone knows Pokimane's name. She's been a huge Twitch streamer forever. Twitch should implement ads that don't directly interfere with a stream, sidebar, picture-in-picture, underlay. I understand advertisers are essential to making a platform profitable, but intervening with the viewer's experience isn't how they go about it. So
Twitch doesn't have like pop-up or banner ads or any of the other types of ads at all?
They might have some banner ads on the homepage, but I don't think on a streamer's profile.
Wow, that's actually a huge difference. Because on YouTube, that's been a thing forever, where I literally up until like 2 years ago never ran a single mid-roll. I was like, well, we've got the ads that pop up. We've got the ads on the side. The channel is self-sustaining. We're not hiring. Like, we don't need to do mid-rolls.
Yeah.
And like, that was fine. They just ran themselves like that. So that's interesting. And I'm kind of surprised Twitch doesn't just pop up on the top of the chat, just like a big square ad that credits the creator the same way.
I agree, but Linus slipped into these comments and actually has a pretty good rebuttal to it.
Okay.
Those ads are barely profitable as for a text-based site that's pretty much worthless since 2010. Unless you can pretty much guarantee the viewer can't ignore it, it does nothing for the advertiser. So why would they pay for it? I think that's pretty reasonable. Although I like the idea of potentially if the sidebar covered up the chat when it happened,
it bumps down the chat. It just appears above the chat and pushes
even
it
if
down.
it fully went over the chat, it's still interfering with the stream itself, but not the actual content. Maybe it's interfering with like some reactions, but if that's only a minute long, like that's way better than completely blanking out video.
It's the same way like YouTube has ads that pop up over the bottom of the video and you could X out of them. Like, yes, it's interrupting literally the video. Imagine being in a theater and an ad pops up over the movie. Like that would never happen. So yeah, it's interrupting, but it's still an ad that's credited to that viewer and you're targeting that channel. Yeah. Still seems pretty good. Maybe there's a bigger difference in like tech savviness of the average Twitch viewer versus the average YouTube viewer.
Yeah, and I do agree with Linus as to like if it pops up on the side and I'm watching, I can just completely ignore it. Yeah. And why would like you're not going to pay the big bucks for that. You want to make sure it's something. I do know Twitch has done some things in the past where they're called bounties, where it's almost like Twitch can help streamers find sponsored integrations throughout. And I wonder if they'll do more stuff like that, because that seems like an actual good idea where it doesn't interrupt content quite as much, kind of changes the content a bit. But if you like a streamer and their personality, usually you're having a good time in something like that. My last quick thing here, the exclusivity part of it feels crazy to me.
So what is that? What is
eliminating that? So like if you're a Twitch partner, you're streaming on Twitch, you're only allowed to live stream on Twitch.
Okay.
You still have YouTube VODs, almost every single Twitch streamer does. But if you're not exclusive, that means there's plenty of platforms out there or programs where you can multi-stream. So you could stream to Twitch and to YouTube at the same time and broaden your audience. And they obviously didn't want to do that because YouTube's a competitor. But no exclusivity means now you can do stuff like that. That feels very strange. It is kind of cool. I'll be interested to see how it goes. I wonder if it could ever pull users away from the platform. I mean, YouTube's clearly taken aim at some of the big streamers. They have Tim the Tatman, Valkyrie, Courage. Ludwig's a huge one that they just brought over. He just did an interview with Susan recently. Like, YouTube's clearly gunning for things. I don't think I'm even going to get on the topic of what I think YouTube can do and what's going on over there. I hope eventually we can get deeper into that. But like YouTube's coming for them. Twitch is making mistakes all the time. I think this battle's getting closer and closer. I think there's some holes in the armor.
I think that's a good thing. I think the competition is going to make, like the fact that the competition is making it better for streamers. Like, hey, there's no more exclusives now. And hey, you can try YouTube at the same time if you want to, and all these things are making it a better overall experience. Wouldn't happen if YouTube wasn't competing. Yeah,
but there's also a 20% revenue split cut.
Drop.
I almost wonder if the exclusivity thing was like hey, we know this sucks. Maybe you can go make that 20% on YouTube with 20% of your viewers or something like that.
Interesting. Okay. So, I want to pin this for later, but I also keep thinking in the back of my head, like, what is harder? Entertaining for 10 hours straight live, or spending 10 hours on a video that's only 5 minutes long that you then upload and entertain someone for 5 minutes straight?
I don't think there needs to be a
there
battle
probably isn't one
them.
That's harder or the other, but
there
it's
are
very
people who
different.
Are good at different things.
Very different skill. Very different skill.
I think there are people who live stream that would have a really hard time focusing and polishing something down to 10 minutes. I think there's people who can hyper focus on something that would be like 90% of their live stream would be like dead space.
Yeah. So, imagine me trying to talk about like the new S22 Ultra for 10 hours straight. Let's test. Can you imagine?
Can we just do a day where we come into work and you live stream the entire
for
day
10 straight
and you
hours?
have to entertain?
Woof. I'd have to switch it up at some point. All right, thanks for watching that clip. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that the next time I am invited to go to the Met Gala, if that happens, I'm going to be dressed as the subscribe button specifically to the Waveform Clips channel. You can just tell when you look at it. It looks like the subscribe button to the Waveform Clips channel.
Is it like the regular version or the clicked version?
It's going to be the red version that you just want to click. You just gotta click it.
You should try clicking it just to see what the other, you know what, click it to see if he should go as the not subscribed version or the subscribed version. I think the subscribed version looks nicer aesthetically, so on your screen you should probably click it.
That's fair. Turns a nice like neutral color.
And the back of it, your tie will just be all the comments from this video.
Perfect.
So leave a lot of comments, and you might get to retroactively go to the
You can go to the Met with me on my tie. Book it.
Book it. Send it. Like it. I guess we forgot to mention that, but you should anyways.
You did that.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate you.